I teach at a school so small that it is impossible not to know everyone's business. I know ahead of time which students are getting asked to prom, who's getting dumped via text. I even knew when a student who was planning to cheat on one of my tests decided not to cheat because he overheard a conversation that I was having when I said that integrity is like virginity. Once you start to lose it, it's really tricky to get it back. So he didn't cheat. And I love working at a small school because it gives me the opportunity to cultivate genuine relationships with my students. A concern that I have is because our students grow up in this environment of trust and security, it makes them more vulnerable to some of the dangers involved with social media. Now, as far as my students are concerned, when I was their age, I communicated via stone tablets and carrier pigeons. Like, they just don't think I get it. They don't think I have any advice to give them on the responsible use of the internet. But my students love to perform spoken word poetry, and they always want to hear one of my pieces. This provides the perfect opportunity for me to insert a life lesson. I like to call it advice in disguise. Today, I'm going to share their least favorite spoken word piece for me to perform. And it's not because of the arrangement or the delivery, it's because of the content. Oftentimes, when we're faced with a truth that contradicts our current path, it's difficult to accept because it's hard to make certain behavioral changes, but it is possible. The piece is called Digital Footprints. Just as our carbon footprints impact our physical environment, our digital footprints can impact our personal livelihood. It's interesting that they call it the World Wide Web because, like foolhardy flies, we all ultimately get trapped. But it's imperative that when we surf, we start using our head to proactively protect and navigate our own social map. Sign in, username, password, click. Whew, now I'm safe. Not necessarily, because our every interface on a digital device is recorded somewhere, and you better believe there's a price. It is not enumerated in dollars and cents. It's a more constant currency in the form of a digital footprint. When we make our lives public, it's hard to keep a secret. Billions of people access the internet, and not everything gets deleted. Don't quite believe me? Well, let's take a walk down that path, and let's see what you learn from your social graph. It's the global mapping of everyone and how they're related. Your friends, your family, the questionable people you've dated. In cyberspace, a visible history of our lives and interests has accumulated, and there are serious consequences for leaving our thoughts and actions ungated. Still not convinced? Well, I've seen it with my own eyes. A young, intelligent high school student ahead of him his whole life, accepted to an Ivy League school, but had his admission rescinded. Let's just say what was on his profile page could not be commended. And it's not just universities. It can be utilized by inquiring employers. You think they don't do their research? They're quality control voyeurs, something we view as harmless, freedom of self-expression. From a professional perspective, you'll be fired, no question. Whether it's YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, or Twitter, before we upload, download, type on those keys, press enter, we need to slow down. Take time, think, consider. How will this instant information impact our hopes and our dreams? How could this careless communication be interpreted or released? What's the solution, you ask? How can we really be safe? Well, if there are aspects of our lives we want private, then we should keep it that way. We do not need to post every part of our pedestrian progressions, and we don't have to constantly coexist solely via internet connection. There is a whole world out there. We can hear, see, smell, touch, and taste it. The chain tying you to that screen, antiquated, written in pencil, erase it. And when we do sign in again, we'll be thoughtful, we'll use tact, because we understand our digital decisions can have a lasting impact. Life has no Apple or Control Z. You can't take everything back. The internet is a remarkable resource, and if we make intelligent choices now, there'll be no need for recourse, especially if we empower ourselves to censor what we enter on our keyboards. Thank you.